Okay, when you look at this first one, it's telling you to multiply these. Do you have any, like, just common sense ideas about what you think you would do? Because I think it's kind of a common sensor. Now, my common senses could be kind of off the radar, so you never know. Do you have any common sense ideas? I like it. Let's multiply the 6 and the 2. What do we get when we multiply the 6 and the 2? Oh, you're so smart. And then what we do? So if we did that, but I don't actually want to multiply 35 by 15, so that then I have to, like, literally bring it all the way back down. So I'm just going to say 35 times 15, and I'm going to put it underneath one radical. And since they are the same root, 2, I can do that. Okay, so talk to me about 35. What is 35? 5 times 7, what's 15? So let's see, we have a 5 and a 5. So we got a 5 that gets to come out. And then 7 and 3, they got to stay inside, which would equal 21. 12 times 5 is? Yay! That was much faster than first period. Okay, we good with that? The next one, I'm going to do you go ahead and try the next one, and then I'll come in and do it a different way. So if you simplified it first, this would be negative 3 times 2 square root of 2. And this would be 5 times 4 square root of 2. Because 16 goes into 32. Okay, and then you would have finished it out, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it the fractional exponent way. This is negative 3, and this is 2 cubed to the 1/2. Times, this is 5, and this is 32. No, why is it that? This is 2 to the 5th to the 1/2.
Oh, because there's 3 2s and 8.
So this right here is negative 15.
2 cubed is 8.
These are both raised to the 1/2. So in this first one right here, how many 2's do I have?
3.
In the second one, how many 2's do I have?
5.
So I have 8 2's raised to the 1/2.
And you can simplify that.
8 times 1/2 is
4.
and 2 to the 4th is 16. And that equals negative. Very good. That's fine. The only thing we need to do is do it where we get to select. Okay, you got the next one. We got I don't want to write down color. 21, which is 3 times 7. Do you agree?
Yes.
54, which is 3 squared times 6.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 cubed
Yes.
times 2. And then we have 10 eighths. And we got 14 B's. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, doke. So we got a total of 4 3's.
Yes.
7 and 2. Bummer. They stay inside. They have to stay inside and clean house. Everybody else just go out and play. 10 divided by 2 would be 5. 14 divided by 2 would be 7. And it's ugly because you have two numbers and neither one of them we're going to completely clean out. Okay? Ready for the next one? Now we got to add. Adding is just like having like terms. So I'm going to start off by simplifying these because 18 and 50 are definitely not like terms. For them to be like terms, they have to have same variables, same radical. Okay? So here we got a 9 and a 2. And here we got a 25 and a 2. How come I picked 9? How come I picked 25? What? Perfect squares. So I got 3 square root of 2 plus 5 square root of 2. Do you see how both my radicals are the same? I don't have any variables. That makes these like terms. I currently over here have 3 square roots of 2. Over here I got 5 square roots of 2. So if I put all my square roots of 2 together, I have 8 square roots of 2.
What if there are perfect squares?
Huh?
What if there isn't a perfect square?
Then we would have looked for pairs and all that kind of stuff.
Because you can spell.
She's just, giving me a hard time. Okay, so here we go. Based on that, you try this one. So anytime you can't come up with something pretty quickly, start off with your factoring tree. Remember, a good factoring tree starts off with the smallest prime. And 2 will still go into it, so I keep doing 2. And 2 will still go into it, so I keep doing 2. 2 won't go into it. My next prime is 3. So now I know 216 is 2 cubed times 3 cubed. Okay, so let's see. I got x, and then I got the square root of 2 cubed, 3 cubed, x to the 6 minus 6 times 10 squared, right? So this will be 3 divided by 2 is 1, remainder 1. 3 divided by 1, 3 divided by 2 is 1, remainder 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And by the way, there was already an x out there. So that gives me 6x to the 4th square root of 6. Then we have, the 6 is going to stay inside. 10 squared, 2 divided by 2 is 1, remainder 0. So a 10 comes out. 8 divided by 2 is 4, remainder 0. So we have minus 10x to the 4th square root of 6. These are like terms because x to the 4th square root of 6, x to the 4th square root of 6. So we get negative 4x to the 4th square root of 6.
If you're subtracting, runs the x to the 4th, not subtract the x to the 4th.
Okay, that's a great question. If I have 4, no. If I have 6x minus 10x, what do I get? Negative 4x.
Because it's going to do with the constant.
The only thing that actually do anything with are those leading coefficients. Those you don't do anything with. Think about it when you do x plus x. How many x's do you have? 2. They're not like terms. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this one. This one right here is going to be what? 5. This will be 4 times, I don't know why I did that so long. This will be 4 times 6, y cubed, plus y, 9 times 6, y squared. So the one on the left, square root of 4 is 2, giving me 5 times 2 is 10. The 6 is going to have to stay inside. For y cubed, I got 3 divided by 2, which is 1. So 1 comes out with a remainder of 1. The other side, I got square root of 9, which is 3. Then I have the 6 staying inside. I have the square root of y squared. 2 divided by 2 is 1, remainder 0. So I have a y on the outside and another y comes out, so I have y squared. Are these identical?
No.
Then you're done.
Okay.
You cannot put them together. They are not like terms. You try this one. Okay, 2 square root of 3 is 2 square root of 3. There's absolutely nothing happening. 8 is 2 cubed. So that means I get a 2 that comes out, and I got a 2 that stays in. Because 8 would be 4 times 2, square root of 4 is 2. Then on the next one, you got 9 and 5. The square root of 9 is 3, giving me 12 and the square root of 5. Can I combine any of those? Nope, they're all different. No like terms. Yes, ma'am?
If that was like -2 and 5 instead of -2 and 2, can I combine those?
Yes. Okie doke. So now, let's see if you can do this. And you got 21. Whatever. 21. Then you multiply 3 times square root of 6. Then you multiply negative square root of 6 times 7. Then you multiply negative square root of 6 times square root of 6. That would look like 6 times 6, which would give me negative 6. So then I get 19 minus 4 square root of 6.
What is the 19?
No, 15. Bad math. Don't do bad math. 15. When you think about multiplying these two, this is the same thing as 36, square root of 36. Anytime they're under radicals, as long as the root is the same, you can put them all underneath the same radical. Or you can separate them out. Okay, let's try the next one. Please remember, you cannot distribute a exponent. This is 6 minus c square root of 15 times 6 minus c square root of 15, which means you got to do all that FOIL and stuff. So did you get 36? And then when you multiply, since these are the same, you're going to get negative 6 square root of 15, negative 6 square root of 15. So that's going to be negative 12 square root of 15. Negative times negative is going to be positive, and then you're going to get 15. So then we get what? 51 minus 12 square root of 15. Can I simplify the square root of 15? No. Can I combine those? No, I'm done. Try the next one. These are almost identical, but what are they called?
Difference of squares.
They're called conjugates. When you multiply out conjugates, what happens is you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 times 5 is 25. We would get 5 square root of x minus 5 square root of x, so those would go away, and then we would get negative square root of 6 times square root of 6 would be 6, which would give me 19. We okay with that? And that would be all of it?